All right, welcome back, everybody. More Pokemon Leaf Green on an emulator. Yeah. I actually just did a little tutorial on setting this emulator up. It slowly click 2 buttons. You can't fuck it up. It's really hard.
Nice.
But yeah, we're back. I'm Larry. This is Death, my captive capuchin monkey. You might remember him as my captive capuchin monkey from Harvest Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And we caught a rat. I named it Dick Butt. And that's where we're at.
Story so far.
Yep, and we also caught a Bulbasaur.
Oh, right.
Well, the Bulbasaur was given to us
Yeah.
by a Pokemon fighting person who's probably doing illegal things in that. It doesn't look like a licensed laboratory if it's just in a small town in the middle of nowhere. It's usually not how that works.
Do you need a license for one?
I don't know, but you probably should have one.
Oh, I see.
Yep, wait, Weedles get string shot too?
Yeah, they're both like.
Well, Weedles turn into wasps. Wasps don't cocoon. They put themselves inside of, like, comb. Not honeycomb, but like a sort of like comb made out of plant fiber.
Wax.
It's not really wax either, it's just kind of like fibrous material. And then they kind of just sit there and start to transform in like a little container. It's like Tupperware for bugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
How handy.
But yeah, and they don't really do the same thing as butterflies either. Like they kind of morph outwards, whereas butterflies melt into goo. And then they reform from scratch.
Huh.
But that's probably overthinking it for your average run-of-the-mill child playing Pokemon, and not outside catching bugs like I was. Still have some of those beetles in a box somewhere in a display case. Funny enough, long after I quit doing all this and no one really knew about my history, a family friend of mine whose husband invented a device called the Vibralung, which just got FDA approved, which vibrates your lungs to remove things like phlegm, and it was used to help fight cystic fibrosis in little people.
That's cool.
That was his first wife who died of that. She's just like, well, we want to thank you for all you've done to help us, so they went to an antique shop and they saw a giant stick insect from South America in a display, and they bought it for me, and now it's on my wall.
Oh, nice.
So, like, they just thought I'd like it because I like interesting, exotic things, and then there's like, do you know that I did, like, bugs all the time? Like, do you know this is a thing that I did?
Well, now they do now.
Yep, they sure do. You know, speaking of Freddie Mercury, looking at the Pokemon, I guess Freddie Mercury had someone call him, like, I don't think it was faggot on, like, stage, but something kind of like that, like a pansy or a poofta or something. And then he had someone point the spotlight on him. He's just like, you want to say that again, sweetie? And, like, everyone around him looks like they're about to punch the shit out of him. And I'm just like, you know what? That's just the right kind of response to that.
It is.
Just, like, get your fans to defend you.
Yeah.
I've kind of seen that myself. Like, occasionally I have people trying to, like, and I don't really police it anymore on, like, my OBS tutorial, which has over 70,000 views. I'm probably never gonna beat that until I get something weird and viral where I said something stupid. But, like, now they come in and post and like, oh, well, this is a great thing and blah, blah, blah. You guys should come and check out my channel. And now people just jump on them, like, earn your own damn subscribers, you leech. And it's not really an issue, because for the most part, YouTube catches 90% of those people and just throws them in the spam filter. And
oh, really?
I don't check the spam filter. Like, I see it. I see there's 20 of them in there right now this week.
Jeez.
But I don't usually go in there unless someone is, like, trying to send me a link to something and I can't seem to find it.
Yeah.
Also, people send me a lot of weird stuff over YouTube messages, and I almost... you no longer get notifications for those. Even if they're turned on, it's, like, bugged out for me. So, like, I don't even know if I get any YouTube messages. I check them once every 3 months or so. But, yeah, I don't really do much with that. And, you know, it's weird, because when I first started doing YouTubing, all of the YouTube advice said that you should go into other people's popular videos and advertise your own channel.
Yeah.
And that was more back when, people, like, the YouTube spam filter didn't really exist. or it did, but it was shit. And you could get away with that. But now if you do that, like, you'll get in the spam filter within 2 or 3 people reporting that because people find that annoying. Like, the users, not the channel admins. If the channel admins see that and they don't like it, they'll just ban your ass off the channel from commenting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's not so much a thing anymore. Now you'll just get flagged in the system and all your stuff will end up in the spam filter, good or bad.
Oh, that's great.
So you shouldn't do that because it limits your ability to engage with people. And I do need to go into other channels and I do need to chat with people more. Not like as an intentional plug, like there's just some things I'm curious about and I forget to ask. And speaking of you should ask, there was a YouTuber out there who, he's one of the gold metal detector people that goes into old mines and searches for gold with a metal detector. And I just randomly asked him about stuff, and I related it to a story where when I was in Scouts a long time ago, we went out, and we were going to try and find a place where we could go on a tour of a gold mine, but all the other places were booked up or closed or full. So we just went to this random out-of-the-way place because a guy in a coffee shop said, "Oh, let's call my friend. He'll give you a tour." And it was just this hole-in-the-wall mine where this dude actually made a living just, like, mining in there. And he gave us a cool tour, and he showed us this lucky rock. And there was actually a guy that liked his mine so much that he wanted to be buried in there. So there was like a hermetically sealed chamber with a casket buried under rocks.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. And I learned about things like how some of those places had a material in it. I think it's like pyrite or something that sucks the oxygen out of the air.
Oh.
And it'll actually kill people. So they had to like. He's got just a fan system, but you had to have special fans so that people wouldn't die. And it used to be, like, before they cared, they just have one person pay to go pick up anybody who'd fallen asleep and died because of lack of oxygen. And then they just keep on going. They just hire someone new.
Oh.
Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna switch. I'm trying to use Rattata, but he's not quite strong enough yet. So, get out of here, dick butt. Go, Shark Tulip. Alright. Fight, use, just whip him in the face. It's a bug, who cares? There we go. But, so, I found out something interesting about that man. So the other guy, I asked him about what that material was in the rock walls, because he was talking about stuff similar to that other guy. And I was curious, and he said, "Oh, you don't mean so-and-so in Colorado?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, that's my brother."
Oh,
and I was like, wow, that's a freakish small world moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, sometimes it pays to talk to people, and you'd be surprised how many YouTube creators will actually respond. Like, there's some big YouTubers out there, like, Tal Flatermouse, who, like, does weird slow-motion things where they shoot weird ammo that people make and send to them all over the world.
Oh, I see.
And, like, I asked him a question about, like, why do you guys use, like, wax slugs? And I don't remember why. It's just because it's, like, a thing people do. Like, they cover the buckshot in wax to have, like, a penetrating slug. It's not as expensive as, like, hunting slugs.
Yeah.
And so, like, he, like, responded within a week. I was impressed. Like, he's got way more people than I am.
Oh, man.
But I guess not everyone,
He's
you know...
on top of it.
There's not everyone you really want to respond to in those comments either, I suppose I should mention. Like, I try to talk to a lot of people on my channel, but sometimes I got nothing to say to you. Like, yeah, that's all there is to it, really. I like how I'm just robbing kids. So there was another thing that we talked about before, and that was just, I never quite understood the Japanese money system, because didn't you say it's like 10 yen to $1, or is it even more yen than that?
Hold on, it's for $1 it's 121 yen.
121. Wow. So why the extra units? Like, that just seems unnecessary.
I mean, in Japanese culture at least, they don't really equate money to American dollars, so everything is rounded off. But I'm just assuming that it's just like moving our decimal place over.
I mean, I
and
know
just leaving out.
it's kind of like a mental thing where it just kind of disappears after a point, but just like, I don't know, it just seems weird. It's also weird that a lot of Asian cultures don't read left to right, which is the normal like human eye progression when analyzing things. And kind of like a serpentine pattern, you go left to right, and then you kind of snake around to the next line. That's why S curves
top to bottom and then right to left.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why you always have to read their comics in the weird direction. I won't say wrong direction because someone will get mad. But
I mean, yeah, it's just the different direction.
Lulu Lin was saying that, like, yeah, a lot of other cultures at one point did that before they adopted other reading, better used languages. Which I guess Japan and China and a lot of those cultures actually adopt English for coding, because symbols that stand for complex strings of things don't really work out as well as Latin-based languages.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
I thought was interesting. Like, I figured maybe there was a couple weird languages over there that were done in Mandarin or Japanese, but nope. Not really.
Yeah, coding language is its own kind of thing.
Sure is.
I mean, it's an actual language, so...
Alright, what do you got? Send out your caterpie? Think I won't murder it, sir? What else do we have to say words about? You know what I didn't realize was a thing until Star Wars came back? I guess there's a huge controversy about Slave Leia. And the actress even said, like, you guys are stupid.
Wait, was there really?
Yeah. Like, I can't believe you objectify her in that, like, skimpy outfit. I'm like, are you familiar with the House Negro? Like, this is a thing. Back in the times of slavery, when people were still owning other people in this country in a way that wasn't tied up in political contracts where you work yourself to death for the rest of your life. When you had a very attractive young black woman, it wasn't unusual to put her in a pretty dress and bring her into the house to serve guests and maybe to fuck them now and again. And they'd put them in skimpy outfits or they'd parade them around naked. I'm like, when you own somebody, or you consider yourself being in ownership of them, and the worst thing you have them in is in a bikini, you better consider yourself lucky.
I know, yeah.
And it's just like, it's people trying to put this sort of politically correct context over everything without thinking about the context themselves. Which is like, super duper common.
It was in her name, it was literally Slave Leia. I mean, you're not gonna dress as slave.
Yeah, I mean...
like you said.
There were animals in there that Jabba was biting the heads off of that were sentient living things. That, like, could talk and had names and had alimony payments to make.
Yeah, sure.
Certainly didn't bother you about that stuff, did it? Yeah, people are dumb. It's like when people got mad at that guy who wasn't intended to speak for that rover landing. People got mad because he had, like, women in bikinis on a shirt. But I guess apparently that shirt was made by was created by a female friend who ran a shirt business about scantily clad everything. So it was very hypocritical. Oh, hey, Dick Butt learned Quick Attack. Is that good?
Nice.
Is that better than Tackle?
It does more. Yeah, it is.
Okay. Because you'd think like a big body slam would be a little better, but Quick Attack would have a purpose.
I remember Quick Attack has 40 attack power. I think Tackle has 30.
I think it depends on the Pokemon too, because some of these are weak against things like physical.
Like, you can check. I mean, they're both physical attacks. Quick Attack does have higher speed, but I'm pretty sure it also has a higher hit power. Or whatever it's called, attack power.
Alright, well, I killed a Metapod with it, so that's cool. I murdered a man. Alright, Dick Butt's getting all powerful. Alright, sweet. But yeah, like, it's funny that the people who are so concerned with women being able to wear whatever they want should think that a man shouldn't be able to wear whatever he wants.
Yeah, and like there were some comments that women or feminists were saying about.
I wouldn't even call them feminists because my mother was a feminist and she's offended by online feminists.
They claimed to be feminists.
They're what I like to coin as armchair offended at everything people.
They told him that he deserved all the hate because he was wearing it, and that's essentially he got what he deserved for what he was wearing. Was their argument.
My response is don't validate these people. Once you validate them, you make them think that it's important, and then people start to listen to them. They're just stupid. If you ignore them, they'll go away. You just denounce them, and then you say you just say what I said. Like, it's funny that people who are so who's so concerned with people being able to wear whatever they want should be concerned with what I'm wearing. Isn't that interesting?
Who would have thought?
Like, I think he should have told him off. Unless his boss told him not to, and then I would have been begrudgingly, and I would have made it very obvious that it was a passive-aggressive apology. But, you know, whatever. Let's see here, what do we got? A Weedle! Fighting me with a Weedle, boy! Alright. Quickly! Go, thingamajig! Now, what else was in my to-do? I heard, so do you care about spoilers? Well, it's not really a spoiler, it's just the lightsaber controversy coming back.
Oh, with the handguards or whatever?
Yeah, so the whole idea of that sword, at least from what I'm told by Ultra fans who know about, like, the canon of the evolution of lightsabers is, that's like a lightsaber that's unstable, and it spits, like, molten slag everywhere. And when you fight, you're supposed to take your force jism and whip it in people's faces. And apparently that doesn't happen. There's literally no reason that he would necessarily pick that. That's kind of explained or implied in there. It's more of just like a Sith thing. It's just like, well, the Sith.
The explanation I got was just, it's partly to do with the unstable thing. Because since apparently the movie is a prelude to the other ones, that since, you know how old swords used to have the same kind of handle guards, it's just that since the lightsabers were unstable, it was just an older version of the lightsaber that they use today.
Yeah, and I mean, the funny thing is, there's like Jedi are always like, oh, it's a force weapon, you can't use it properly if you can't feel it with your mind tentacles. Like, Jedi originally were like, fighting with swords? Are you stupid? I have a blaster. And also, you had to like carry around a giant battery pack strapped to your waist, and when it ran out, the duel was done.
Really?
Yeah, like there's all this stuff which I thought was interesting. None of that is true anymore. The first thing Disney did, and bless them for that, was be like, hey, you know all this stuff that was stupid because Lucas hired bad writers? That's gone. That's not a thing anymore. So hey, I mean, I'll take it. Why not?
It's nice.
All right, I made it through the forest. Sweet. Now I'm gonna heal up the caterpie so I can use it to bash into its friends. What's not to love?
Who knows?
Alright, we're in Pewter City. I should probably stock up on some more potions and Pokeballs now that I've robbed the young people. Alright. So basically, with our discussion of yen, all this stuff that we're buying, like Pokeballs, are like cheap. They're like buying thumb drives. They're like $2 or $3 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess that makes sense. They're also just fun bucks because it's digital, but who's counting, right? What are we gonna talk about next time? Oh, we're gonna talk about how, I think it's weird that beetles always seem to end up in the news when no one's dead.
What?
Yeah, I'll talk about that next time. Oh, here's the Pokemon. Yay! Alright. Come here, you. Hi there, may I help you? Yes, I'd like to buy things from you. Give me... Burn Heal, Escape Rope. I want Repel. Give me, like... 2 of those. That's fine. There we go. And then give me... a couple Pokeballs... to replace the ones I used up. And then I'll buy a potion with what's left. 2 potions. There we go. See, this is budgeting your money death until you can beat up teenagers and children.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like being Bill Cosby, but without the wine. Actually, I don't know if Bill Cosby's ever assaulted a young person without
Has
wine.
he?
I don't know. We'll explore that topic next time. Toodles, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.